Good morning. Happy Wednesday, September 6th. It's like the first Wednesday that the school kids have been back in school for us in Canada today. But I don't have any lemons, so I am rocking a delightful peppermint tea. Now, one of the things that I'd mentioned talking to you guys about last week when I did tea with Tamara was, where did this all begin? Like in terms of how did I come into energy? How did I do all this kind of stuff? Well, in the beginning actually is a little bit different. The beginning of my story is through the darkness, really, into the light. So when I was about 2 years ago, I was in a dark place. Things weren't good at home. My son and I were not doing well together. We were constantly in arguments and fighting, in and out of appointments, things like that. It got to a peak with his behavior that I couldn't do. So when Ethan was 17, I told him we couldn't be each other's lives. It was toxic and unhealthy for both of us. And as a mother and as a parent, you can only imagine how absolutely terrifying that was, and how the guilt and the shame and the fear and all of these really unhelpful emotions brought forth in me from doing this. So what happened right after Ethan and I broke up was that, good morning, Kelly, I went into a little bit of a depression. I have found it very, very challenging to get up every day. I focused for my clients and my family, but if I wasn't doing one of those two things, I was usually found in a fetal position somewhere, whether in a chair. I won't lie, sometimes it was behind my couch. It was really, really a sad time. Now, during this time, Jeff had proposed to me in March. I was supposed to be getting married. All of this became like a dark cloud for me. It was too much for me to handle in every way imaginable. So I remember actually being in the fetal position behind my couch when I made the decision that I couldn't plan a wedding. I couldn't function, you guys. I barely got up enough to put a sweatshirt on and a pair of yoga pants to do my job. But if you would have seen me out and about, you would never have known how bad things were for me. Because one of the things that I was always taught, and I truly do believe in, is nobody wants to hear your problems, right? So if you're like, hey, how are you? And you're always like, I'm okay. Life is terrible. This is what's happening. Nobody's going to want to talk to me. And I was a personal trainer. Like, come on. I had to be a little bit like, bah, bah, bah. And I'm telling you this story because I want you to know where this all stems from. So if you're in a dark place, there's still hope. And I want to give you a couple things that began the journey for me that made it a lot easier to go from where I was, which was really sad and not functioning very well, to being in a space right now where I have a successful business from home and I'm doing what I love. So right after Ethan and I broke up, I felt really shitty, like really, really shitty. And I remember lying in the fetal position some days and just saying, Tamara, what is one thing that you can do today? Something small that's going to make you feel just that much better, just this little tiny bit better. And it would be something as simple as booking a hair appointment or, going for a massage or things like that. And then out of the blue, I heard, and this is the beginning of something, guys. So you saw me post on my Facebook that, release and let go and trust the universe. It was the first niggling that I had that I needed to meditate. I needed to meditate, which I've never done in my life. And 2 years ago, I started to YouTube a whole bunch of meditations. I joined a Carrie Samuels Meditate with the Angels 30-day program, and I slept through everything. I mean, everything. Like, I would hear the first 3 words out of their mouth, and it would be like, and then they'd come out and they'd say, like, get out of your meditation. I'd be like, what the fuck just happened? Did I just do a meditation? But what was really happening was my subconscious could do the work, but my front brain could not. My ego could not. It was too much for me to handle. It was too much for me to completely anchor into my belief system all of the things that I was hearing. So I started to do meditations. It took me a couple months before they started to actually sink in and make a difference. What was really cool is that there's a local chapter of women. They're called the Gifted Goddesses. And I went to one of their things, which was about healing. And they were amazing And we did a cord cutting meditation. I'd never done a cord cutting meditation. First of all, I walked in a room and there were 6 women and their energies just made me start crying because I was like a pent up well of like awful emotion. Like it was terrible. Like it was like I hadn't been venting myself in a really long time. So I cried pretty much for 45 minutes straight, ugly tears. But one of the major things that they did was a cord cutting meditation. Now, guys, I believe in this so much. This is the first phase of our health and wealth and getting better. And I love it so much and I believe in it so much. If you go to www.theenchantedfairy.ca under gifts, you'll see the cord cutting meditation. I have recorded it and I would love to give it to you guys because one of the ways that we start to heal and get better is by releasing ourselves of other people's thoughts, feelings, past events, things like that. So we can blank canvas ourselves. So we can be a fresh piece of art that we can paint whatever picture that we want for our lives on it. And I stand by this so much because if I hadn't gone and removed the things that were holding me back in terms of what other people thought about me or believed about me or events that I started to create, because half the time, guys, people are not intentionally meaning things in a way. We just take it that way. It's not a reality. It's not real, but we in our subconscious minds only know how to process things one way, because of however we were raised and developed. So we will take that information in and we will create a pattern or a thought that could or could not be the intention that somebody else meant for us, right? So with the cord cutting, we get to like totally let go and release and cut all of the things and the people and perchance any feelings that aren't serving us today in this moment at all. So first phase of like really letting go of the darkness for me and really letting go of holding on to things that weren't serving me was starting to meditate and doing the cord cutting meditation. Now, once you're firmly free of other people's thoughts, feelings, and emotions for you guys, here's a little tidbit. You might actually not know who you are anymore. You might kind of say like, now that I'm not holding on to Fred and Jerry's and Simon's and Claire's stuff about me, and I have this blank canvas, who the fuck am I anymore? I don't know. I don't know who I am. I don't know what I like. I don't know like anything about myself anymore. I haven't been talking to myself in forever because oftentimes when things are going on, we start to live for other people because it's easier than living for ourselves and turning in and going like, oh, I have to deal with this stuff. So you blank canvas and now you have this beautiful, beautiful, like shiny white surface. What are you going to do with it? Here's what I'm going to tell you to do with it. What I want you guys all to do today, go to the cord cutting meditation if you'd like. And then the second thing, what I would like to see you do is 50 things that you love to do. Write a list. Who are you comes from what you like to do, right? Think about this. When's the last time you sat down and went like, I love to have morning coffee. I love to snuggle under a blanket. I like to be around fires. I love to read young adult fantasy. I love to listen to New Kids on the Block. You don't have to be as nerdy as me. I just really like being geeky and nerdy. It's super fun for me. And I really I'm owning it as opposed to trying to hide those pieces of myself now. It's like, freak flag, yeah, fly, 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 fly. So today, if you want to start to enhance yourself and become the best versions of yourself, phase 1 is releasing on the past things that aren't serving you and stepping into who the fuck am I? And that starts with 50 things that you love to do. So I recommend that is something you put on your to-do list today to really anchor into your thoughts, feelings, and emotions of you. Really reconnect. It's like having a little hi, Tamara, how are you today? That kind of thing with yourself. So guys, that's it for Tea with Tamara today. I'm excited because I would like to take it a step further next Wednesday and kind of go into what you do once you know about the 50 things that you love to do. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, thoughts, feelings, emotions, you can always place them directly below me in the comments. I try all times throughout the day. Anytime you guys comment, I try to answer because you mean the world to me. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about what that looks like, how you do that for yourself, always feel free to message me here or on a private message or even at Tamara@theenchantedfairy.ca. But I really hope you guys have a magical day. It's all about you today. Let's bring this into ourselves because when you bring your light back into you, it shines that much brighter. You're able to serve and help those in your life that much more from a space of being from within. So I love you guys. I hope that you guys have a magical Wednesday. My heart chakra to your heart chakra. I love you guys a shit ton. And this is Tamara signing out for this magical Wednesday.